Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we're looking at the new DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series Zatanna figure. Now, you guys probably heard me say in my unboxing video that Zatanna is one of my favorite DC heroines, and she is. I like the character. And this figure, unfortunately, doesn't really do much for the character. I mean, it's okay. There are some really good things about it, and there are some really terrible things about it, so I think it averages out to about the middle. But let's go through all the details so you guys can make an informed buying decision. So let's get it off the stand and we'll take a closer look. This figure stands just about 5.5 inches to the top of her head, about 6.25 to the top of her hat, which makes her just about 13.5 to the top of her head, about 15.5 to the top of the head. So she'll be in scale with all the other figures, no problems there. And generally, she looks really good. You can see we have a lot of different colors on here, or at least an acceptable amount, and some new sculpt work, so that's pretty cool. But first, let's go through the accessories. We have a total of 6 hands. We have the 2 open hands that come on the figure in the package, 2 fist hands, and 2 gripping hands. And for those gripping hands, we have her magic wand. We also have a little printed cardboard poster of Zatanna. And then we have the awful display stand, which is awful, but has a cool character turnaround. And that's it. Nothing really to write home about, but it's an acceptable amount of accessories. As far as the figure goes, like I said, it does look really nice. For the most part, the paint job's really clean. We have the buttons, we have the white part, the dark purple, the light purple, the black, the sleeves, the stripe on the hat, the face. It all looks pretty good. I like the paint job on this figure. The lines on the hips, though, for her little onesie or whatever you want to call that thing, definitely could be better. They're not sculpted on, it's just paint, and it's not the cleanest paint job. It's not terrible, though, so I think it's acceptable. It's okay. Now, the problem with this figure really just comes from the articulation. As you can see, the sculpt work is fine. It's all sculpted. That all looks pretty good. The only issue I have with the sculpt is the ankles. They have this weird kind of broken effect to them. Definitely looks like she rolled her ankles, so that's a bit of an issue. Otherwise, the sculpt is nice. In terms of articulation, we have a ball peg for the head. She can look down the tiniest little bit, basically not at all. She can look up a little bit, again, basically not at all. And you can rotate the head from side to side. The hair is soft plastic, so it won't get in the way, so that's pretty good. And you can lean the head from side to side just the tiniest bit. Essentially, it's just a swivel. You can't get too much more out of it, so it's not great. For the shoulders, this is all hard plastic, so you can't really move the arm forward unless you bring it out to the side or really force the plastic. But otherwise, you have the full rotation, and you can bring them out almost completely horizontally, but you end up with this kind of puffy jacket effect. So I feel like they still haven't quite figured out how to do shoulders, which is not a good thing because they've been making figures for a long time, and they should be able to do shoulders. And then we have no bicep swivel except in the elbow, which lets us rotate everything around. And then we get a not quite 90-degree bend. So again, it's pretty limited, not the best articulation. For the wrists, obviously they're interchangeable, so we have the peg that allows them to swivel, and we have a hinge, which is just fine. No torso articulation. They could have so easily put a diaphragm joint, or at least a ball peg, a swivel, anything basic in there would have been nice, but they didn't. They're so lazy and cheap about it, it's upsetting. For the hips, we have the same hips we've seen before. They don't go very far forward. They don't go very far back. They do go all the way out to the side, but it looks absolutely atrocious. No thigh swivel at all. We have a single jointed knee, which doesn't get even 90 degrees. Again, why can they not give us articulation? They have literally no sculpt work to worry about. Just put the joint in there, but no joint. And then no ankle joint or anything. So you can't really pose her legs at all because you have no articulation to accommodate it. If you put her leg out to the side, it's just going to be sticking there out to the side. With the broken ankle sculpt and the lack of articulation, she's going to be very difficult to put on a shelf in any nice pose. If even standing, it's going to be difficult. So you're going to have to use that ugly display stand, which is a shame. Otherwise, the figure is really good. It's got really nice appeal, just terrible articulation, and some questionable sculpt work. So do I suggest you get it? I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about this entire line. If you are into the Batman animated series, you might want to pick them up, but they're really not overall very good figures, and they're getting more and more expensive, and they're not getting any better. So I kind of say don't buy them. If you're not already in the line, don't get into the line. I'm questioning whether or not I want to even sell mine off and quit buying them altogether. So If that tells you anything, there you go. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So come back for that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.